Hi, and welcome back to Astrological Intentions. This is episode 27. We are recording tonight on a very chilly night in Chicago, Tuesday, January 29th, 2019. I am your host, Alex Reevy, along with my fabulously fluorescent mother,
Sandy Reevy, in the fluorescent lighting right now.
She's got a new lamp. So we are ready to go here. Coming up in the transits, Sun, Cazimi, Mercury.
Clear thinking is happening right now.
Saturn, sextile, Neptune.
Spiritual versus material balances.
Mars, square, Pluto.
Transform or don't, but you will anyway.
Venus, trine, Uranus.
Experimental fun? Question mark.
Mercury, sextile, Jupiter.
Finish the puzzle.
Venus in Capricorn.
Mature love.
New moon in Aquarius.
New pathways.
We have some talisman times that Sandy finished last week, as well as many upcoming, so stay tuned on Instagram. Then on the horizon, we have our webinar series we want to talk about, our upcoming workshop webinars, and our Bali retreat. Then finally, we're going to wrap up with some of our favorite Bali stories. So stay tuned for this episode of Astrological Intentions.
You got the keys. You got the keys. You got the keys. You got the keys.
Wow, so excited for this week.
I can't believe I got out of the house today.
Right. It is absolutely freezing cold here in Chicago. If you haven't been seeing it on the news, Chicago is now colder than Antarctica.
Freeze.
Yes.
Yeah, deep freeze. But we are here in the studio to get you all of these transits that are coming in this week.
Yes. And also I have some going direct coming your way. So we had some wonderful feedback. One from Washington, D.C. that Reggie says, "Thank you, Sandy and Alex. I am who I am, and you all have helped me learn more about who I really am, not who I thought I was. I love you dearly, completely, and reverentially. You have helped me find the peace and grounding to manifest amazing things, and we're just getting started. Blessings, peace, healing, love, and joy to you."
Reggie.
Shout out to Reggie.
Shout out.
He's making some big moves in Washington, D.C.
We're watching you.
And also Jessica H. from BC, Canada says, "I still think of the day I met you beauties at Wanderlust Whistler and had that amazing transformation, stepping into my power of being a loving and bold leader. Healer. My life has changed since that class, and I truly have stepped into my power, and I am so grateful to be able to help so many people heal themselves. I have my sunflower bead necklace hanging in my Reiki massage room, so I can feel the power. I can still feel that power from that class."
Nice.
Right?
Thank you. Well, beauty and Whistler should go together.
I know, right?
But wow, the power that you're holding and harnessing and grabbing because you own it. So that just sometimes the awareness of who we are, that we think we are, that Reggie said, is maybe we're more powerful than we think we are.
Yeah. And even, so Jessica was on the Cosmic Trends Facebook Live event, and we did the drawing, and Jessica actually won the astrology calendar. Yeah.
Yeah. So that we just had we were a little delayed on that, but we did our 2-hour forecast for the year, specifically Q1.
Right.
That's still, can you still see that on Facebook?
Yeah. Yeah. It's on Facebook. It's right there on the top of the post.
Okay.
So let's get into it. Let's talk about in the transits.
Well, currently, right now, where Mercury Cazimi the Sun, which means it's in the heart of the sun.
Right.
When any planet gets close to the sun, it's usually called combust because the planet gets burned up by the sun. It's so hot. But when it gets within 17 minutes of arc, it's when it's in the heart of the sun and everything is clear.
So it's like the eye of the storm, too?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like calm and clear eye of the storm. So clear thinking, it's a busy mind. It's, many contacts. If you need to send emails, if this is going on currently as we speak. Clear for communicating and reasoning. It's good for common sense. Things get clearer. Decisions are good to be made. because you're going to learn something new in interacting with other people. Maybe you pick up a new subject here, but it's quick download because it's really clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I like that a lot.
I've been making talismans today for this, and we'll go home and I'll have another one to make tonight.
Sweet.
Yeah. So we're right in it.
Yes. I mean, that clear thinking, being right there in the eye of the storm, it's almost like that would be a great time to start a meditation practice if you are, if you've been looking into it or,
right now.
Right. Sit down right now.
Yeah. Let's do the meditation for the rest of the call.
All right. Sounds good.
So Thursday, so that's today, Tuesday the 29th. Thursday on the 31st is this Saturn sextile Neptune, which happens about 8:21 a.m. Chicago time. And, Saturn is the planet of, structure, material. It's in its own sign of Capricorn, so it's very happy here. It's about structure. It's about seriousness, right? It acts as the glue or the commitment, the taskmaster.
Right.
And it's in a sextile, 60 degrees. That's very
harmonious.
It's energy, but you have to take initiative.
Right.
It's 60 degrees. It's not a trine.
And it's sextile with Neptune, which Neptune isn't, those two aren't normally friends.
Well, no, but they're in really good, nice, chatty Cathy, because the Neptune is in its own sign of Pisces. And, that's the unclarity, that's the delusion, illusion, dreams, where Saturn likes things being done right now, being productive, right?
Yeah.
Climbing a mountain.
It won't
success.
even like dreams.
Like what? Think about it? Get moving on it. So these two are in a nice sextile. So it's really the balance of that spiritualness, that dream, that intuition, that inspiration, right? In balancing the material world. So responsibilities, structure, plans that blend easily with that idealism, with visioning, right? With dreams. So this is a good time, Thursday on the 31st, to maybe hold a meeting for, new ideas or inspiring projects or thoughts or products.
Well, perfect.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about some new webinars.
Because, we will be.
Yeah.
Serious thinking. It's serious visioning. How do you play a spiritual role as a tangible tool, right? Because it's like you can't hold a vision, but you can hold a tool, right? So you're blending these two together. So, you'll have a control over these visions, so you'll be able to pull them down. And so it's making a long-term plan to have that dream become an actual tangible product.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And that actually lasts because Saturn, and actually, folks, we have 0 planets going retrograde right now. So the entire month of February, no planets retrograde. And actually, we had at the beginning of the year, Uranus was in retrograde when we first started, January 1st. Then I think by the time, like the 4th, the Uranus stationed direct. So most of January has been all forward movement and all of February. But when Saturn does retrograde, it is going to come back into play in the sextile to Neptune. So
again, do you know the date for that?
Well, it finishes up between now and November 8th. So it's happening this whole time. Because once it retrogrades, or once it clips and goes forward, clips it once, retrogrades, clips it number 2, stations for forward, and clips it again. That's 3.
Wow.
So Saturn only does 3 passes, if it does any at all. Some of the longer moving planets or the slower moving planets sometimes clip up to 5 times.
Right. Well, that sounds really exciting. The Saturn-Neptune dance going on of kind of building your dream. Yeah, maybe taking the big clouds and turning them into condensed little bricks or blocks and really kind of creating
building something.
This home that you can live in and be a part of your world.
Yeah, a realistic view. Yeah.
So next we have Mars square Pluto.
That's on Friday the 1st. Or February 1st already. And it's about transformation or the refusal to transform, which, when you refuse to transform, you get transformed anyway. And this is Mars in a square. So this is a little tension. This is a little conflict. This is about getting rubbed raw. So it's a force. There's a force to get ahead. Mars is action. Mars is physical motivation. These are two malefics. They're the ancient ruler of Scorpio.
They're
plus
movers and shakers. The modern movers and shakers.
They're the like death defiers, right? Mm-hmm. Because they're they create something to possibly die, something, an attitude, a behavior, in order to be reborn. But when Mars is here, it's about high energy and getting a lot accomplished. However, it's fierce power. It's fierce force. So there can be struggles. There could be arguments.
Evil Knievel never had struggles or arguments.
Well, that would be a really nice little. Did you just make that up? But that's a really nice. He had the energy to defy death, right?
Right. And then making it appear possible for the rest of the community, which is a great thing to transform and show people that it is possible.
Yeah, he must have had some really solid.
I mean, not
Venus.
everyone's really jumping
Venus.
over a bajillion cars.
He's got
over
Jupiter.
a motorcycle.
He's got luck somehow because he was able to do it so many times. But let's get back to this energy. It makes you push ahead with forceful action. So it's like like you're using this is like sweating. But if you're not doing the pushing, somebody else in your world may be doing the pushing. So there's force coming from somewhere. Is it within you or is it without, outside of you? Mm-hmm. Because if it's you, you could be upsetting other people. You could be using your power over others. So, watch your temper. You're going to feel like you're undestructible or ruthless, right? And you're trying to get to your goal, your intention.
Right.
So,
but Mars will want you to stay active in this, right?
Yeah, Mars likes, because Mars right
attack
now
it head on.
is in Aries. Mars is in Aries, so it's in its sign that it rules. So as I say how ruthless and destructive this could possibly be, I want to have to also say watch dark alleys, if you know what I mean. Take no risks here. You might feel like it. Take no risks. This could be a volatile time because you got the two planets that rule Pluto.
The movers and the shakers, got it. So next we have Venus trine Uranus.
This happens on Saturday, the 2nd, around 5:40 p.m. And I wrote down experimental fun, ? Say yes to weird invites. Surprising alliances. Not a day to be stuck in the mud because you want new things to be coming in all the time.
Right.
So, watch unexpected events. Now, it's a trine.
Right.
So, slide down that angle, right? It's easy energy. So you want to say yes. I know we are going to a birthday party. That's going to be an interesting birthday party.
It's very whimsical. It's going to be a red, white, and blue, a friend's first birthday here in the U.S.
Right.
So it'll be great.
So that's something new. Then on Sunday, the 3rd, we have Mercury sextile Jupiter at 3:55 p.m. Finish the puzzle. Now, when you talk about Mercury is the planet that is opposing in a natural chart Jupiter. Mercury is the young, the small, the details, the little pieces, right? It's the elementary knowledge. Mm-hmm. And Jupiter is the, typically, like I said, in a natural chart, it's the opposite. Just like Gemini and Sagittarius are opposite. The rulers of those, Gemini, which is Mercury, and Jupiter, that is the ruler of Sagittarius. Jupiter is the big picture. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's professors and
it's the higher learning.
Teacher.
Yeah. It's the international travel. It's like far. Mm-hmm. It's like big.
Right.
It's like growth.
And it's not just detail oriented. It's the big picture.
It sees the big picture.
It's the big visioner.
So here these two are together in a sextile, which says, it's easy energy if you take the action. that you have all the details for this big picture. They're working together now. You understand how all these fit together, right? All these little details.
And now it's just a matter of finishing it.
Yeah. So sharp, clear, precise, plan a trip. Plan a overseas trip. Oh, plan a trip to Bali.
Always.
Yeah. It's also a good time to study if you're picking up a new topic and you want to, sign on to a podcast. Oh, another little idea there. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. Because there's information for others to gather when you're taking the little pieces of a big picture. So you're getting this really quickly. Does that make sense? It's like you could sit by a puzzle, unconnect them all and put the puzzle together quicker. This is that kind of day. So why don't you try that out?
I love
no
puzzles.
You have no time for puzzles.
I don't have time for puzzles.
But just kind of an action orient. I know when we were visiting my dad at the hospital.
I had some time.
Everybody was doing puzzles out in the little waiting room. So that's that. And in that same day at 4:30, that Venus moves into the sign of Capricorn.
Which is not the sexiest of signs.
No, it's not sexy. No, she doesn't really she's love, beauty, money, adoration, aesthetics, roses, chocolate, champagne, right? She's all the five senses.
And Capricorn's like wrinkles, knowledge.
Maturity, okay.
Success, driven. The taskmaster, the timekeeper.
The authority figure, the mature person, okay? No,
we don't need another glass of wine.
The crone, right? So this means that love, Venus, has boundaries now. Mm-hmm. There's a little bit of more of a commitment to be made. You approach love more in a mature manner because it has that Capricorn, Saturn, Capricorn, glue around it.
Right.
So not its happiest place, but, we can deal with it this time.
I like that. But I also like what you said about it, the mature love, because that makes it a little less, unsexy. You know what I mean? Because Venus is not necessarily so comfortable there in Capricorn, but it almost is it's a nice kind of wise woman, wise feminine energy.
That's a good way to put it. In other words, what do you need to say in a relationship that's important to you? Do you need to put boundaries on within the relationship? Mm-hmm. One of you to one of you. Listen to what each other's, desires are and how you can put together a long-term plan.
Right. For progression.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. There's, we can't always have Venus in Taurus or, Pisces or... she needs to come to grips occasionally, see the real world. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is a time to do that. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Then we have the new moon in Aquarius, which is going to be very fun.
So that's on Monday, the 4th. It's at 16 degrees Aquarius, around 3:04 p.m. And it's Mercury likes being in Aquarius. Aquarius is air. Mercury rules Gemini, which is air. So there's a easy, sign trine there. And, Mercury likes to come up with new ideas and creative, inventive thoughts. So this new moon because we're getting the help, and I say that, we're getting the help of that Mercury in the Cazimi. So that new moon, now the moon moves in, right? On this time, we get the new moon. The moon's just crossed the sun, but Mercury is right in the mix of it. So that's why we can get, it's a good time to set an intention, to start a new project. But, it could be about progressive groups, new friends, new institutions, new clubs. So maybe it is a new meetup that's unique people, different people that you would normally not. They don't look like your group of friends.
And also just have different conversations that you talk to your friends always about, the familiar subjects. Maybe just throw in a random turnip in there.
Oh yeah, next to the turnip.
Right next to the turnip.
Right next to the turnip. That's a good suggestion.
Yeah.
You know, stay away from weather, politics, fashion's probably not that big, or Hollywood.
Yeah. Talk about
what?
the fifth dimension and how you perceive it to be.
Talk about people's dreams. You know, what creates inspiration.
People's yearnings.
Right. You know,
why do they do the things
here's
that they
a good
do?
question. What is the weirdest thing that you would do if somebody grabbed your hand and took you there? What would be the weirdest thing? Because it's Aquarius. It's like, you know, a friend that you trust that's taking you somewhere that you'd say, okay, I trust you. What would that place be? Or what would that thing be?
Right.
Okay.
I'm now curious.
I don't know. I was making it up for you to answer. So that's the energy of this week. It's a lot going on.
Yes, a lot going on. Also, I wanted to mention too, because I was going to say this during the going direct, but everyone out there, especially during this new moon in Aquarius, when you're talking to your friends about new subjects, why don't you tell them about our podcast? Because that would be a wonderful talk about astrology, talk about something that's a little bit unique. But yeah, send them our way and have them take a listen to one of our episodes, because really that helps us so much, because we have lots of followers and we love every single one of you. We just want to grow our community a bit.
We want to stay here in town in this frigid cold and talk to you.
Right.
Because we're not going to travel as much.
Yeah.
But no, that's true, because, you know, Aquarius rules astrology.
Right.
So, yeah, talk about the astrology podcast that you're tuning into, Astrological Intentions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's go skip ahead and go to Talisman Times.
I did make some this past week and one today that I'll talk about. And then there is a huge pile. You think that I'm busy? I'm going to be up starting at 4 a.m. tomorrow morning making some beads. But let's talk about the ones I've already made.
Cool.
So this was Friday, January 25th. We got the Jupiter trine Mars. We talked about this last week.
Right.
The intention to make something of myself. My drive to succeed in what I have created gives me more freedom to engage in new experiences.
Nice. And so that was the one that you made.
Yeah, that's one of the ones I made on Friday.
Right.
And then a little bit later on Friday, later by 9:45 a.m., now that we have Aries rising, Mars is the ruler of the chart in the trine to Jupiter, to plan with great foresight. I charge forward on my projects that require more of me than usual. I do this effortlessly.
Beautiful.
But not really. Like, it took a minute.
Yeah.
And you liked that one last week. That was your favorite.
I still do. I'm excited for the ones that are upcoming too. So let's finish with this one.
This is what I made this afternoon, Tuesday, January 29th at 1:11 p.m. when we had the exact Mercury Cazimi Sun to formulate new inventive ideas. It's easy now. I am sharp, clear, and alert. I write what comes into my thoughts.
Yeah.
So those I made already. Those will go up on the website pretty soon.
Yeah, those are wonderful ones. I'm excited.
But
who's
I'm
going to be the owner of that talisman?
I'm going to there's so many here. I didn't even have a chance to write them all. I mean, I'm looking at like 20 talismans I'll be making in this next week.
Wow. Are you guys ready for this week? This is going to be a big week.
Yeah, I'm kind of not. In fact, I haven't even written them all, but I'm going to go over a few of them.
Okay.
The one that I'll be making when I get home tonight, which is occurring right now because we are 6:41 p.m. happening right now, is the Virgo rising with the Mercury Cazimi Sun, to be detailed, organized, and productive. Oh, and we are at our producer's studio. And we're being very productive.
We are. We even got out of the
right
house.
now.
I think we're beating everyone with, productive points here.
Well, because here's what we would say. Can you say this? Today I put my ideas into form. I am so excited. This comes so quickly.
Yeah. That's
what's the energy of the moment right now.
Mercury Cazimi Sun.
And you already had an idea earlier.
I did.
We're going to talk about later. This one is for the Saturn in a sextile to Neptune. This is January 30th. Oh my gosh, is that tomorrow? No, this is at 4:45 a.m. to develop the long-term plan to reach a dream. I balance my material world with my spiritual visions to create its form in real life. So that is that one.
I really like these.
You like,
Yeah.
well, because you're a Pisces, right? And so Neptune rules Pisces, and Neptune's in Pisces right now. So this again is tomorrow, the 30th, January 30th at 8:03 a.m. to vision a reality. My thoughts and ideas are so real that I can touch them. So I pull them into my life.
Mm-hmm. And even so, when I do my work with Joe Dispenza, there is this meditation that you're pretty much bringing a vision into form. And you have to, kind of sit there and really experience this either material object or, this happening that you want to create in your life. And you have to be there, and it has to be like tangible. Like you can almost taste whatever's on the plate, or you're, looking and seeing the beautiful diamond bracelet or something, whatever it is. But that just kind of reminds me of those few with the Mercury and Neptune.
Like just pulling it down, seeing, well, it's not Mercury and Neptune, it's Saturn.
Right, Saturn and Neptune, but also the first one was with Mercury.
With the Mercury Cazimi.
Yeah.
Oh, you're ahead
I'm paying
of me.
attention.
You're ahead of me. But that's the only ones, this whole long pile, that's all I could have the time to write today. So what you need to do is to know when these times are and what the energy and what I'm writing about that, I'll always post on Instagram.
Right. And you do a
I
think
do a
you're
good job.
You're now doing a better job at Instagram than I think I am.
Oh, I totally am, Alex. I don't see nothing from you.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
She's
no
turning
retort. Red.
I have no.
Okay.
I can't.
No, but I do
come back to that.
Every time I make a talisman, I take a picture of the chart with the beads that I just finished making and explain what the energy is, how it's relating to its other planet, and what to say. I'll put something in quotes. That's the exact time. As soon as you see this coming through your Instagram little window on your iPhone that I see, whatever. What do you call that?
No, just with that comment, now I'm, getting really, self-conscious of how you're beating me on the Instagram.
Oh, because I know how to do this? Or are you making fun of me because I'm more Neptunian and I don't know what to call it? But you'll see it. The window on the phone pops up, it lights up and says what I just posted.
Right. Okay.
So that you can say it in the real time. Right? I'm all about real time. Go on, if you don't, to like us on Instagram, and I'll be posting every single time I make one of these, the words that are included, the planets that are involved, and what to say.
Yeah. And comment on those, because we love to hear, your thoughts. So on the horizon, we have coming up, and I'm going to be right before we get to the recap, I just want to mention that in doing these webinars, they have been so much fun, so accessible to everybody that we're pretty much going to be starting some more webinars that are going to be able to reach, people who know nothing about astrology to maybe people who want to level up a little bit and get some more knowledge there. So I just wanted to throw that in. But the solar powered webinar
was awesome.
It really was.
I was talking to some of the ladies. I was doing some readings today, and they're like, I attended yesterday. Of course, I knew that. And they said it's starting to click. It's all kind of making sense the way we put these 11 worksheets together for each of the planets and making descriptions and then putting dates, because I give 66 dates. And even though these webinars are concluded, we're going to record. I should really be recording tonight because I'm so clear. But we're recording in the next day or two, so this will go up onto the website as a purchase,
right?
Where I give you 66 dates that the sun is transiting your entire natal planets,
right?
In one of the 4 aspects of conjunction, and the opposition, and then the square, and then the trine.
Yeah.
And then I describe the energy that you'll be expecting. And then you keep a journal, and there's a little line to put what actually happened on that date. So really, you need to hold on to these pages for an entire year, because this is all coming in throughout the whole year when the sun is moving around the 365 days of the year and the 360 degrees in a zodiac chart. So pretty cool. And you're right. These webinars are fun. They're exciting for me because, I can stay home and reach so many people, but to inspire them to connect with the awareness of the day.
Right.
Because if I don't really necessarily teach astrology as a 101 book format.
Right.
I teach it in real time.
Right. And that's what majority of people have been saying is, oh my gosh, I'm so excited that we're learning this way where I don't necessarily have to, do all the ABCs that we're throwing them into the deep end a little bit.
It kind of is. It's like, come on, if we're interested in astrology, there has to be some sort of intuition that you sense, sensitivity for the awareness of the energy. So,
right.
Be more attuned to what could be happening today in your particular chart. So you don't have to piggyback on anyone else. You're not going to be.
Right.
And see what kind of reaction you had that day and you write it in. I gave a couple hints because some things have already come in for me because we're already at the end of January.
And funny you should say that because I just got some emails that people were sending their feedback from the solar power webinar. And let's see, we have Vicky who said, so informative and very enlightening. She found out about us from a friend and she says, the webinar was absolutely chock full of information and explained very clearly. So that is wonderful. And then also Katie says, great planning for my life. Let's see. She said, the solar year webinar was great. Sandy explained everything in a way that is easy to understand. Hearing her personal examples of how certain recent dates in her life worked out the way that they did based on the energies made it super clear for me. I'm excited about trying to plan out the year with these energies in mind.
Yay, good.
Yeah.
Good. But we'll be doing more. I think either Jupiter or Venus will be one of my next ones to see how that rotates through someone's. Venus will go a whole circle plus. Jupiter won't. It'll only just cover 1/12 of the area in
and
one's
you'll
chart.
explain why during the webinar. And yes, of course.
Yeah, more dates for the calendar.
Right. And I also think that
yeah.
we'll probably throw in some astrology 101 stuff just because
we do.
It does need to be covered at some point or another. We just can't throw you into the deep end. We need to figure out how you're going to be starting to swim and fine tuning that. So you need the basics.
Well, I think I do, but it's not like get your books out and your notepad, and doing slides that way. I think this is just an interesting way to absorb the energy, even on the podcast now. I mean, this is teaching. This is information that can be, pulled into the brain, especially today with the Cazimi Mercury Sun.
Right.
But, this is a teaching tool.
Yeah.
It is information. Yeah,
it is, and it's a self-reflective tool. That's the way I use it for me. But anyway, so also we have our spring equinox constellation bracelet workshop coming up. That's happening starting in March, right around March 6th. So we're going to be getting dates up to the website as well as links to sign up. But these workshops are absolutely priceless. It's the solar powered webinar times 20?
Well, there's 12 Zoom calls. You get an hour and a half reading from me at the beginning to see what the energy and how the energy affects you on your natal chart. Then we set these Zoom times. You get this booklet in the mail that helps you follow this. It's kind of like your worksheet, your workbook.
Right, and it has your personal chart in there. And yeah.
And then we call these calls, and they can be really random calls. I mean, we've done one at 3 a.m. We do some at 5:30 a.m.
They usually fall
midnight.
In decent times.
This last one fell in really decent time. This
right.
The one that we're still in for the the winter solstice. Yeah. The one that's coming up in March is like this, it'll be including the spring equinox. So it's about starting new things. It will include the Mercury retrograde. So we'll be discussing in that real time of how to work the Mercury retrograde in your life. It is the one planet that turns retrograde the most frequently, and that's 3 times a year for about 20 to 21 days each time. And so to be an actual dynamic real life energy using that will be a big tool for anyone who signs up. And we only take 8 people. It's
Right.
a very small class because we get together on Zoom 12 1-hour calls. Might go over a little the hour.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You're
But
always on
I'm
time.
teaching what's going on in the universe at that exact moment because I'm picking times based on astrological. When I give you dates like, the Mars square Pluto, when I say it's 9:15 p.m., that might be the time of the call, right?
Right. But also what you're doing in these workshops is everyone's now understanding how it's affecting everyone in the group differently, especially their own chart.
Perfect.
And then they get to call what their intention is. They get to call, they get to write their own affirmation for how they want to utilize this energy.
Yeah.
And you're there to help guide them.
And I'm
make
making
their
a
talisman.
bead. Yeah, I'm making a bead. That I failed to say that. I forgot about that. Because I'm making a bead with each one of their affirmations. I'm rolling it while they're speaking it on the Zoom. Then at the end of these 12 Zoom calls, they have a completed bracelet that they get in the mail, and we do an activation call after everybody's received them.
Yes.
So
and we love
it's
it.
a really
so we would
cool group.
Yeah.
So join and be part of the next cool group. Yeah. That's
We
on
have
the
a
website,
lot
yeah.
of cool groups, I will say.
Well, it's all one group,
You guys are
Alex.
all so
It's
cool.
all one big
right,
tribe.
but then we have like our podcast listeners. We have your monthly, astrology reading clients. You have, our webinar people, but we also have our retreat people.
Oh, you want to talk about Bali?
I do. Because we have Bali coming up April 15th to the 26th. And this is in Ubud, Bali. Bali, of course, is an island in Indonesia. And Ubud is up in the mountains. And we also spend some time by the shore to kind of relax and chill out. But of course, we would love to have you. Our Bali retreat is open for enrollment, and you can sign up for a free reading with Sandy just to talk about what would be going on for you and your chart during that time, just so you get a little taste test and see if that's something that you want to commit to. We, of course, would love to have you there and help you experience the richness of Bali.
Yeah,
Are you there? Are you there right now?
Man, last night, because I'm finalizing some of when we go to the shore, when we take the group to the shore, after we go to Melati Cottages, where we have the main basic
teachings.
workshop teaching, and we head to the beach for
more fun.
to the coast. Well, for more teaching, but just a change of pace. But I've been confirming some of the places that we're going to be staying, and I just fell back into being there again, and literally my body was tingling.
Oh my gosh.
It's in fact, I was telling him, Alex, come here, look at this, because you're going to get this same feeling I'm having right now.
Yeah. We still have our Bali coffee.
I drink my Bali coffee every, maybe once a week, because I really like my mushroom coffee, and that's my gig.
So I wanted to this works so well with our house, our story that we want to share, because I want to talk a little bit about our favorite Bali stories, or, what we do in Bali that really, that you take home with you. Mm-hmm. What is yours, or even a story?
Really, from the minute we land, when you arrive, and our drivers, who are our friends now, Koman and Bude, pick us up. And it's just so friendly, family oriented. And we know what we're driving. It's about a 45-minute drive up to our first place that we're staying. And just seeing how everyone takes care of you. And everybody's hospitable. And there's not a whole lot of chatting. They don't, our drivers speak English, yes. But a lot of the other, hospitality people don't. So it's just communicating with a smile.
Right.
With your,
and in a humanly way.
And in your eye contact and, a lot of gestures, a lot of praying hands of,
bowing.
Thank you and bowing and smiles. And it's just a simple life.
Yeah.
It's beauty. It's reverence. It's sacred. It's peaceful. Really, you know nothing about what's going on in the world because there is no televisions.
There are televisions.
Well, it's not in our rooms.
Right. We're also not bellying up to like a sports bar.
No, there are no, and there's no Walgreens people.
Yeah, that was funny. That is a funny story.
What's your favorite place about Bali? Or a story that you were about to tell about Walgreens?
Well, I like the camaraderie of Bali because I think that everyone there, and it almost feels like a small town. It's a decently large island, but it feels like a small town where you pretty much know everyone, or you wind up just running into people. I mean, even just our first time in Bali, what was that, 4 or 5 years ago? We would run into people. We'd be like, oh my gosh, you ran into your cousin's best friend.
Right.
And you had no idea she was there.
No, weird.
And you had never met before.
No.
But you got onto a conversation that, you talked about either Chicago or...
No, it was her friend that was charging her phone we were sitting on the floor by the table and there was a outlet.
Right.
And we were talking about our intention beads.
Right.
And she walked back to her table and said, I don't know, there looks like two ladies over here from Chicago and I think their company's called Intention Beads. And she went nuts and she goes, I know them. I have intention beads. Like they're in my suitcase right now. And she came over and introduced herself to me and it was like, oh my gosh, I know who she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and
Diane.
another thing that I love about Bali is, can you guess? If I go like
the monkeys. Oh no, the ecstatic dance.
Insert
monkeys
Alex's crazy dancing.
Yeah, monkeys.
Just imagine.
You were making some movement
It
over
could
there.
have been
like,
monkeys.
It could have been monkeys, or it was ecstatic dancing because they look alike to me.
Or it could have been a barong dance. You never know.
Oh, is that what
at
it
the
was?
Palace.
The barong dance is your favorite?
Barong. I do, and actually, I don't know if any of you guys listening had watched the Cosmic Trends live. But if you do watch the video, there's a little mask in like the the top right area. And it's like this white face with like really big eyes looking straight.
And a mustache.
Right. And so that was the dance that we got to see. It's kind of like a theater, it's a play, but we got to see that at the Royal Palace.
Oh my gosh,
in
their
Ubud.
costumes, their makeup, hello,
and the
their
costumes,
jewelry.
And don't forget how hot it is. Even when the sun goes down, it's still hot in Bali.
And they're dancing around a fire, like a bonfire.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway,
but
we
their
have so many
their
stories.
fingers look disjointed.
Well,
Remember,
yeah, 'cause
everybody
when they-
tries to do their fingers that go bend backwards and then do these things like here and then we all of us on the group, every time we would try and do it because we would think because it looks so odd. So I guess that might be one of my favorite.
It's so hard. I wonder if they must like bend their fingers back, but
shopping.
Right. I mean, the shopping is amazing. The food, I like Mexico's food better.
Yeah,
I will say that. But I like the Balinese food. I think it's really
it's healthy.
It's good.
It comes from there.
You just walk down the driveway and right down Melati Cottage, there's the juice bar that they just crack open a coconut for you, or they even have like kombucha, and I'm a big kombucha fan, so like they have all of these delicious
in so
flavors.
many different kinds of fruit. Usually on our very first night, we do a little kind of presentation of of their types of fruit,
Right.
like mangosteen.
Love
I know that's your favorite.
mangosteen. It's my favorite. It's my favorite fruit, but I can barely find it here in the
Yeah.
U.S.
What about durian?
Not my favorite fruit. I will say that.
We offer you a piece should you want to get it beyond your nose, into your mouth. It actually doesn't taste as bad as it smells.
Correct.
But whoa.
But you got to get past the smell.
But you got to at least smell
and I guess
it.
I did that with kombucha. So I guess I could probably try that with durian.
All right, I'm going to hold you to that.
I'm going to hold my nose while you hold me to that. Do you know what would be so much fun?
Tell me what your new idea.
So I want to talk more about our Bali stories,
Okay.
but I want this to be kind of like a longer, well, basically just an episode. You know how we bring guests on and everything. So we're going to get an episode together of just all Bali stories or Bali.
Okay.
And I'm thinking we invite some of our past attendees to come on air and talk about their stories.
I would like that. I would like to hear their stories, that they're their favorite, if they each got to have a favorite and a not so favorite.
I
Is
feel
there
like
a not so favorite? I don't know.
I mean, of course, there's always got to be a not so favorite, but
Like maybe the monkey at the monkey
stealing your
forest.
flashlight and running away, and then you have to go get a candy bar and go hand the monkey the candy bar in order to get your flashlight back. Because they are so smart.
Or they took somebody's flip-flop. They had a big flower on it.
Oh, right.
And the lady was walking, and they timed her walking
and
took the sandal. It was a flip-flop.
as she was walking.
As she's
it was
walking.
brilliant. I mean, yes, those are amazing.
And
those are amazing stories.
Scream. It's but I mean, they don't hurt you.
No.
But they certainly have no filter when
Right.
it comes to humans.
And also, how often do Americans how often do we get to go have a monkey, like wild monkey climbing on us?
So can I tell the story then? Remember you can buy the little tiny bananas
Right.
when you walk in.
I know this story that you're talking. Oh my gosh.
And so there was
go ahead.
a fairly large one because they're all different sizes.
Yeah.
Right.
There's babies and mamas and papas.
And trust me, they're everywhere. You could probably in one glance see 40. So they're not like maybe we'll see one, maybe we won't. It's like maybe we'll get out the exit without this happening. And you're feeding the monkey with this banana, and for some reason you pull back. Like you pull back. Another man was taking a picture of the monkey, and you pull back. The monkey then jumps on you. You run, and they tell you don't look the monkey in the eye. You looked the monkey in the eye.
It's the number one rule. I think they have it like posted.
It's posted everywhere.
Everywhere in all different languages. Yeah.
And the monkey came toward you, pulled your pants down a couple times.
Yep.
And weirdly, I have all that on film.
And you know the sunscreen brand that has the little like
girl.
pigtail girl, and there's a dog or something. Coppertone. Yeah. And the dog or something is pulling at her underwear or her bikini.
Bathing suit. It's a little girl. She doesn't have a bikini on.
Whatever.
Her two-piece bathing suit.
It was basically that, but I had a monkey holding on to like where my waistband was and just pulling down. Yeah,
And you're running, going,
and I'm,
oh.
No, that was you. You're screaming on the side like while you're recording, and you're hysterically laughing. But then all of a sudden you start getting,
get away,
go, hurry, no, Alex, go, run. It was like, and I didn't know what to do. So I just looked the monkey in the eye, of course. No. And so, of course, we have 1,000 Bali stories.
Well, no. Can you tell one more monkey story?
No, we got to save that. We got to save that one. We got to save that one. I'm sorry. So we're going to save that one for the episode. So definitely be looking out for this because we want you in Bali. We want
I can't wait.
You do not say it. Do not say it. So...
It was
yes,
funny as hell. It was kind of scary too. Okay.
So, yeah, I think that's that. We now
We're
have
done
to
already.
wrap
That
up.
went so fast.
I know.
Well, quick uptake. Everybody's taking this up. I know you want more.
Yes.
But that's all I got.
So, of course, I mean, we we love you guys, and we really appreciate you. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what you like about our show, the things that you might have a little critique that you want, just a little tiny one. We're not going to change the show for you, but
well, we might, because seriously, to know that you're out there, and we do know that you're out there, and we know that you're collecting this information and putting it to daily use. That's what gets us here when it's like, I don't know, 30 below zero right now,
right,
with a wind chill. Mm-hmm. That's what gets us into the studio. We're not traveling as much because we want to stay true to our podcast.
Right.
We've started this kind of as a, let's see, I don't know, maybe so. And we've really surprisingly have really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And B, have gotten great responses that people are actually using this energy. So tell a friend.
Yeah, that would be the biggest thing. So if you write us a review and you have it way up there with like some 5 stars, please go and tell a friend. Tell more than one friend. Just talk about us. And you can be the expert. Be like, okay, I listen to this podcast and I know that the new moon is in Aquarius. So just when your friends, think they know, you know better. Boom. That would be our biggest ask right now, is just let's keep spreading the community. Let's keep talking about astrology, because this is a wonderful, wonderful self-exploration as well as a way to make sense of the world.
Ask questions.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take a question here and there, so it might be yours.
Oh, and
guess
one
what
last
else?
thing. So I am planning some really cool social media ideas. And then I'm going to hand them off to you, Mom, so that you can manifest them.
Is this
so
our
you can actually
networking
post.
meeting right now?
Right.
Because I forgot something else.
What?
I talked with Dr. Laura Berman this week.
Oh,
and she's invited me to be on her podcast every month.
Right.
Or radio/podcast every month. So we'll be doing like phone-ins and call-ins and asking questions. So,
and here goes our live audience applause. Yay!
It's actually her radio, because that's what's live. Yeah. Right. But then it gets been podcasted. Right?
Right. Well, I mean, of course.
So anyway, that's
you guys
exciting
get along
for me.
so well, so that I totally.
I'm going to have her on as a guest interview soon. We just have to coordinate her time.
So, yes. And okay, so the last thing that I want to say, everybody.
Maybe it's the last thing.
If you follow us on Instagram, you know that we post once a month when the sun is transiting into a new sign. That means that people's birthdays are coming up that are all Pisces, all Aquarius.
Today it's all Aquariuses.
So what I'm going to be switching is we are now going to be offering the winner of, once you tag your friend, and you can tag as many friends as you want on these posts, and each tag I have your name in the drawing that many times. So what we want to do is help promote our podcast. So we will bring the winner onto our podcast to do their mini reading.
Woo, woo, woo.
So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Love your ideas.
Yeah.
They're coming in hot.
They're coming in hot right now. So we are going to talk to you guys next week.
Have
a great week.
All right.
Bye.
Warm. Stay warm. Bye.